classical music world is, by definition, a kind of museum culture. And it's important that the great music from the past is maintained and nurtured and brought to life again for present day generations. But if that culture is to be a living culture, it has a living presence as well amongst the composers and musicians of the present generation. And I think that the most that we can get out of classical music is an understanding of its past in tandem with its present and indeed its future. And so perhaps we can take a perspective on the music of the past through the music that is being written today. And I always think that the most open-minded classical music lover is the person who values the present as well as the past. And that's why I'm delighted that Grafenegg is presenting the music of our time along with the music of the past, and it seems the most natural way to do it. I prefer to be presented alongside the composers of the earlier 20th and 19th century, and even earlier, rather than being stuck in a kind of contemporary ghetto. As far as the teaching is concerned, I've always had an interest in the next generation of composers especially, and I have a bit of a background in tertiary education. My first job, only real job was teaching at a university, and so it's important for me to still maintain that contact with the young generation of composers. But I'll be fascinated to hear what Maren Alsop, for example, does with Veni Veni Emmanuel. Maren is an old friend of mine from the United States, and she has conducted in the United Kingdom a lot. And she's become a champion of composers like myself, and she brings a fascinating perspective to that kind of music. And the fact that Colin Currie from Edinburgh, a marvellous world-class percussionist, is the soloist, is also exciting. I've worked with Colin a lot on this piece and on other pieces, and in fact I'm writing a new piece for Colin in the next few years, so that will be a special event. So the idea of these marvellous, brilliant musicians taking charge of my music in this way is tremendously exciting. The Credo is such a big text in English or in Latin that it tends not to be used as much anymore in liturgy, and it means that I've never actually set the Credo until now, but it's a text I've always been very interested in. It's a statement of faith, and it's an exploration of the Trinity as well, which is something I'm fascinated by. So what I've done here is a setting. It's not a liturgical setting, it's actually a concert setting, because it's too long to be done in a liturgy. It's about 20 minutes, maybe a little more, and it's in 3 movements. And it explores the mystery of the Trinity. In fact, the first movement is the Father, the second movement is the Son, and the last movement is the Holy Spirit. So in a sense, those 3 movements explore the structure of the Credo in its theological outline, but it has allowed me to explore these ideas in purely musical ways, which I've never had a chance to do before, and I'm thrilled at the chance to have done that in this work.